Well, hello everyone. I'm in South Carolina visiting some friends, staying at their house. No one's home, so I thought I'd just share my adventures with Jesus, if you want to call it that. It's really cool. Got to meet some people and hang out with some new friends and just talk about Jesus, talk about business, talk about everything God's doing. And we were talking about the reason I don't go to church. And as I started explaining that, one of the guys was like, "Hey, I've watched a YouTube video about it." I was like, yeah, I made a YouTube video about that. And then I don't know the guy. And then I pull up the video and he watches my video and he's like, yeah, that's the one I watched. I really liked it. Wait, you're the guy? It was so funny. I'm YouTube famous. Just funny how life works, how you help people without even realizing and encouraging and just helping people. Most people are walking out their walk with God without even realizing the simplicity and the joy they can have with God. So, uh, yeah, it was just a beautiful, beautiful time. Super bright out, really nice and sunny. Try to find a nice shady spot and get to fly home in a couple days. And yeah, just adventures with Jesus. I was asking God what's on His heart, what's something to share, and as I was gonna go spend time with some new friends, and he told me it's not that easy. And I was like, well, what's not that easy? And it's the phrase, it's not that easy. Many times you might hear that phrase when it comes to life or Christianity or walking with God, where everyone always says, well, it's just not that easy. Or, it's easier done than said. And everybody always says these kind of things. And I feel like people have overcomplicated walking with God. And, it's like, well, why don't you simplify it down to where you just get to delight in God and be loved by Him and then just love people and love family? And they're like, no, it's all about souls. It's all about souls. And everyone's freaking out. And it's just like, man, if you're freaking out like this and panicking and yelling and you're going to try to talk to somebody and they look at you, they're like, you're a mess. Well, I want to save your soul. No, thank you. Not with that attitude, not with that insecurity, not with that frustration, not with that anger. You don't even know the guy you're trying to save us and introduce us to. We love him because he first loved us. When we become friends and we develop love and a relationship with him and we relax. And my friend, another friend here asked me, so what's life all about? What's the purpose of life? And I was like, well, I guess enjoying God and delighting in Him and just having a good time. He's like, wrong. It's about saving souls. And I was like, yeah, that's a part of that, but that's not why Adam was created. That's not our original intent, God's original intent and purpose for man. It was to be able to delight with their Creator in the garden and enjoy Him. Now that we're in a place where we do need to help and assist people and encourage people and do what we can as we co-labor with God, but my job isn't to do it. My job isn't to be the guy who fixes it. My job is to be about my Father's business, to know Him well enough to be able to delight and co-labor with Him. Another thought that just keeps coming to mind, which was great faith. Wow, you have great faith. And, it always reminds me with the whole Abraham thing. Abraham believed God and that was accounted to him for righteousness. And he believed what God promised, he's well able to perform. Our faith isn't in our abilities. Our faith isn't in us having strong faith, great faith, massive faith, faith that can move mountains. Our faith is in God. You have great faith in God and His strength, His ability, not in my ability, not in my carnality, not in my flesh, not in my logic, not in my wisdom, not in my two hands of what I can produce, but my faith is in God and what He can do through me as I co-labor and surrender my life to Him. So that's what I've been enjoying, just delighting in God, delighting hanging out with Him and hanging out with my friends and just spending time with them. And every time I'm like, well, should I do this or should I do that? And my conscience always allows me. And whenever it doesn't, I listen to that too. Because for me, it's just like, if God was here, would He do this? Would He do what I'm doing? And every time I ask myself that question, I'm like, yeah, He would. He would hang out with people. He would love people. He'd be the light. And it was really cute. We went to a little park in downtown Spartanburg. Had some ice cream or whatever with the kids. And As we're sitting there, this little tiny, like 2-year-old baby, just barely walking, runs up to me out of the middle of the park and just stares there and just looks at me. And I was like, what are you doing? Why don't you go talk to someone else or do something? He's standing there and he's just looking at me. And until I was like, okay, little boy, Benjamin is his name, his mom said, and he just stood there looking at me. I was like, well, God bless you. See you later. And he ran off. I was like, I think these little kids see Jesus and they just came up for a blessing. And Jesus constantly allowed the little kids coming to him and laying hands on them. And I'm thinking, this is cool. Little children should be attracted to us. They should see some light or some joy in our eyes, and they know. They just want to come and stand next to you, look at you, and then they go off and play. That's kind of how God kind of works with us, where we delight with Him, we walk with Him, we enjoy Him, and then we go play, and He delights in that. But we try to prove to Him we love Him. We try to prove that we're going to do a lot of stuff. We promise Him the moon. We say and we do all these things, and He just wants to delight and wants us to enjoy Him and relax. I tell people the most spiritual thing you can do is go take a nap. Go relax. Go rest in God. Quit trying to fix it. Quit trying to please Him. Quit trying to do that. And the greatest revelation that a friend of mine shared with me is the key to pleasing God is to know that He is already pleased with you. If you know that He's already pleased with you, if you believe that, if you know that He's a good Father, then you're going to walk free. You're going to walk in joy and security. But if you can't find that in God, if God's not your source, if He's not the thing you delight in, you're constantly going to be trying to please and prove to everybody. Because what you're not getting from God, you're going to try to get from man. And God's constantly giving you everything you could ever want if you would just believe Him. But where's the battle? Well, the battle gets into, well, it's just not that easy. It's easier done than said. Well, you don't understand my story. Well, you don't know how everyone's touched me wrong. Well, what difference does it make when He's touched you right? Well, you don't understand how hard life can be. It's like, I understand. But what difference does that make if He gave you everything you need to walk free from that? So I try to keep my eyes and my focus on Him and on His words and not anything that this world, emotions, or the enemy throws my way. So I just want to leave you guys with that. Just want to let you know God's amazing. It's fun to have faith, travel. Someone sends me an emoji and likes one of the videos, and from that emoji, an adventure, it, happens and just gets to, just God seems to take me places, and I decided to go by Amtrak, Greyhound. Yeah, I took Greyhound just to travel across the country, just to see how it is. I never done that before. Just to see and explore this place. The earth is your home. Everything this planet has, that's your home. Everywhere you go, that's your home. God gave us this earth and told us to have dominion over it. So guys, just have fun, enjoy Him, explore, be open to different things. And God told me pretty soon you're going to start saying it's easier done than said instead of it's easier said than done. Because when people are like, well, how are you doing this? Well, how did you raise the dead? And how did you heal the sick? And you're like, let me just go and do it. Because for me to explain and teach you faith and explain and complicated Bible verses and teach you everything, it seems too challenging for most people to grasp. And then I just understand, man, it just kind of hit me, I guess, over all these times of just spending time with God. He just shows me how easy it is to walk with Him and delight in Him and just enjoy Him. So I know you guys can do that too and have fun with Him. Take off all these expectations off yourself. Take off all these prerequisites that people have said and just enjoy Him and delight in Him. Just know He's delighted in you. And I'm sure you're going to have a great time. Love you guys. We'll see you guys on the next one.